Last week you would've thought I was torn. Niggas try to count me out, I guess they thought I was normal. They ain't know I was different. I'm like, Lil' be my witness, cause we is fucking up them dishes in my grandmama kitchen. Get a pigeon, do the vision, break it down with my niggas. Fuck their opinions, why would I listen?
Find out, Meek Millie trying to make that comebacks.
Listen.
That sound like vintage Meek Millie though, it do.
1 2 1 2. We want to welcome y'all to another edition of We Say What They Can't.
Yup.
We here live on WeSayWhatTheyCan't.com. I'm your instigator, Don Rock. To my left, Pyro the Fireman.
Yo, somebody sounding alarm in Brooklyn. Fire's been reported. Let's go.
Cinnamon.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Cinemax. Be back. Happy Sunday, fun day.
PS Dot.
I got a right to be hostile. My people been persecuted. And I'm back on the dais.
Yeah.
DJ Lord Jinx.
She already know what it is. Shouts out to all the freaks, geeks, and weirdos. We're here.
Jinx got a mic this week, so he good.
Yes, sir.
And yo, we got a real special guest, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. I don't we gonna call him Trife. He said he don't want the government name today, so the guard Trife. I damn sure was gonna go for government. Yo, say what's up, Trife?
You know me, I'm Mackie, man. One day at a time. What's good?
No doubt, man. Welcome.
Definitely just want to appreciate you for coming. We was talking last year at the Furtado Brothers gala, and I just knew it wasn't time. I definitely wanted to connect with you, but I knew it wasn't time. I wanted to give you some time to get your mind right, get your thoughts right, because it's not about views, it's not about likes. You know what I'm saying? This was a real life situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we linked back up and you came through, man. I appreciate that.
Definitely, for sure. I appreciate the support, bro.
No doubt.
No doubt, man. Yo, we appreciate you. And like you said, some real life situations going on here. You know, you lost a brother. You lost your brother. And I know that situation was tough. Like, how is the family now? Like, how are you guys coping right now with everything that's going on in the past year or so?
Family-wise, I mean, we still coping. I mean, it's still early. You can't even say there's been a change, really, when it's still constant, right? The pain is still there for a mother and my sisters, mainly women who really don't understand the lifestyle. So it's constant struggle for them, and I just got to be as supportive to them as I can.
Before we even get there, let's let some of the people know some of the positive stuff that you're doing, because sometimes I think that gets overshadowed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tell some of the people some of the positive stuff you do in the community, some of the organizations that you're affiliated with and that you organize.
Well, I have my own organization, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. The name of my organization is GMAC Inc. It stands for Gangsters Making Astronomical Community Changes. Our focus is the gun violence in our communities. We dying too often, too frequent by not just the guns in our community, but the guns that's coming outside of our community. Law enforcement, everybody. So everybody's killing us, and we got to change the mindset of our community. So our focus is, helping our young people see something different. They putting the same negative energies out there for them. We got to put more positive energies out there,
What's some of the things we can do to get some of these guns off the street? Because I know they try to offer a little $200 on a gift card and stuff like that. Obviously, that ain't working. What's some of the things, you think we could do to get some of these guns off the street?
I mean, as a community leader, dealing with getting guns off the street is not really my focus.
Right.
That fight is a wasted fight to me. For us, right? If we want change right now, we got to focus on the mindset of our young people.
Absolutely.
Because we just finished from going to DC a couple of last weekend, I believe, or so, where we was dealing with the NRA.
Okay.
Right, fighting against the NRA because they're putting out all types of propaganda to our communities or telling people that it's okay to buy guns and shoot protesters. So it's a different level of fight, right? And they got the money, and that's causing more people to support the NRA even more when they see that we're standing up. So we got to do more for our communities and seeing how we could bring resources to help those who need the services in our community.
So being this is like a hip hop forum, you know what I mean? Everything that's happened with your family and everything. What is it? Because I have my own personal opinion on it. What is it that the hip hop community, artists, fans, what do you think we should be doing? They should be doing? Is it like far as a different energy being put out there, like to help change? Because in my opinion, hip hop can change a lot. Like we help elect the president, so if we could do that. What is it can we do for nonviolence?
I mean, be more involved. Most people, I don't like to say names because people don't understand and they don't get the full message. But so many say they give to the community, but they don't give to the community. You understand my point? Right. they give to a community, but not our community, right? They make those investments, right? Like, so I'm a nonprofit, and you know, I ain't see no fluctuation of resources coming when my brother got killed inside of Urban Plaza, right? Nobody. I had a 501c3. I've been doing that work before my brother got killed. My brother was part of that work,
No doubt.
right? So now when you look at, I take something like Orlando Post, right? When they shot up the gay club,
Right.
you seen millions pouring. That don't happen.
Fact,
Nobody
yeah.
pour millions into nonprofits, grassroots. No, I'm a executive director, CEO of my own nonprofit. Right, I'm a black executive director. Right, they don't want to support that type of stuff. Right, so that's what I'm talking about. Where can we get them to step to the front and say, all right, when we can show you that we really doing work, versus give you money to a Red Cross, you can't see what they doing.
Right.
This is what we need. We need them come into our communities and see the work that's being done, not just by my organization, by organizations like mine that's doing this type of work.
It's funny you say that because the other day, I had some time on my hands. I'm on my little Fire Stick Googling whatever. I'm watching The Wire, and I never forget a line they said in The Wire when I'm paraphrasing when he said, like, all these people dying here in Baltimore. Like, basically, if there was somewhere else, this would be a catastrophe. And I kind of think that's what you leading into. It's like with young black people, Hispanic people losing their lives, it's not urgent enough. Not saying gay people losing their lives is any less tragic, but it's that serious. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel about it.
I come from being an extremely violent person. I understand the violent mind, right? And people may think that it's just about acting off of violence, but so many people support it and promote it, right? And that shows them that there's more money in it, so they continue to advocate and put the money behind promoting the violence to our communities. That's really what it is.
Because they invest in jails, they invest in funeral homes, and they're gonna make money off of it. Guns.
Shout out to Michael Jordan.
But I wanted to know. I know that the loss for your brother was tragic, and I just want you to tell us a little bit about who your brother was.
Well, my brother's a superstar.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had people run down to me, they knew, yo, you look like him. Like,
Yeah.
he was a superstar all the way. A people's person all around. He gave everything that he had to anybody if they needed it. You're always happy. We all got our sides. When you push a button, you're gonna see that individual, and he had no problem showing you that aggressive side when necessary. But as a person, man, I learned when he was gone, from people who just send me inboxes and messages and how much he mattered to them, right? And this is not somebody looking for attention, right? Somebody just dropping in my inbox a filter request. I gotta read and be like, oh wow, that's interesting. So it speaks volumes to somebody when they're gone, that you can have people come out of the woodwork just to let you know who that person was.
Absolutely. So I also read that you were in a gang early on, and I
Felt
wanted
like you were scared to accent.
She's like,
A gang.
yeah, early on.
Early on. I wonder what you get to
So I wanted to know, like, what was going on in your life at that time when you decided to join the gang?
What's a gang?
An organization of people that do
Break
things
it down
together.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Were you in a gang?
What's a gang? I gotta see before when you ask somebody are they in something, you have to understand what it is you're asking them at their in.
Okay, so
I have to understand what your understanding of a gang is.
my understanding of a gang. Well, I read. Can you correct me if I'm wrong? I read
Okay.
that you were part of the Bloods gang, and that
It's all right, Cinemax. You can say it.
Come on,
It's
I
all
know.
right. You can say
Listen,
it.
we say what they can. And I read, so if I'm thinking about the Bloods gang, I'm thinking like, violence and criminal activities.
Cinemax under pressure.
Yeah,
I just want y'all to know out there.
We loving
Under
it.
pressure.
He's scaring me too. His glasses, I can't see his eyes. I can't see his eyes. But so, I wanted to know: were you a part of a gang? From my definition.
That's clear. I ain't never denied that
Okay.
ever.
So, what made you, at the time when you initially became part of the gang, what made you join the gang?
Well, I don't know if I was part of a gang or anything like that, but I come from being a blood, right? So I don't really grasp towards that gang word.
Okay.
Because it's using our communities to enhance crimes and
Right.
send our people away for too many years. Or you look at the mafia and such. They're organized crime and families and such. But when it comes to the Latin and brown community, it's gang. And then you look into the federal system, you see how they're adding crimes, making crimes more heinous and terroristic because you use the word gang.
Right.
True.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I always say. So when we understand how they categorize us, do we accept the categories that they put us in? Right. So to answer that question, I was first incarcerated when I was 16, 1994. I hit C-74 adolescence. Back then it was called ARDC, C-74 adolescents at war. And it was a lot. It was a lot of stuff going on in there. Not just the inmates, the correction officers were extremely violent. You had Latin kings, you had Neatas. And if you was black, if you was the Muslim or 5%, it was an extreme level of oppression. You know, you went in with all your clothes and you had to hold that down. Whatever you came in with, somebody might want to take. And it was a lot of pressure coming from the Latin gangs to the blacks. And a couple of times they jumped me like 3 times in a row because I wouldn't let them rob me in a housing area. It was an all Spanish housing area, and the CO was cracking the cell for them to let them into my cell.
Wow.
Yeah. So when that situation kept happening, I went and linked with my man on the other side of the jail, got a weapon, and had to put some work in.
Okay.
And I ended up in the box, and that's when the homies approached me. When they heard what happened, like, yo, this is what we about. We not gonna stand for anybody doing something to a black person, right? So the representation to me was blood, brotherly love overrides oppression and destruction, right? And I'm 16, I don't got nothing going for myself. I'm back and forth throughout the system, right? So this makes sense to me, right? I don't want to be oppressed. I'm going through oppression in my projects by the lifestyle that I come from. So that's why I became part of it.
So
Okay.
we've had my son on the show. We've had Chia Lee on the show. We've had a lot of people on the show. Sunday Moses on the show,
Sunday,
Yes.
yeah.
who's been on the show. People who's been incarcerated, and some people who's been incarcerated unjustly, and they've spoke about jail reform, and they spoke about the box and things like that. What are your thoughts? Like, does Rikers Island closing down like that? Like, does the jail system, once you go in there from a young boy to now, whatever, it's almost like it's free reign on whatever you want to do. So what do you think on the reform of it, of closing down Rikers Island and things like that? What's your thoughts on the jail system
I mean,
and the box and being put in the box especially?
I mean, I spent a lot of time in the box. When I went up north, in '96. When I went up north, Bloods wasn't up north now like they were up north then like they are now. And I ended up going to Green, which was an all Latin King Neato facility. I got there one day. The next day, I had to put some work in. I got 365 days in the box, right? Coming from Rikers Island, they would give you nothing more than 90 to 120 days back then in the box. So I had to go up into prison and end up spending that much time inside the box. So even from Rikers to that, I had to endure that mentality, right? And that speaks to my glasses. Right? I'm gonna share something to get back to you with that. Spending time in the box, as I used to get away from my transition, you do a lot of time thinking, right? And the way them boxes is ran, you see them bright lights, that's what you're dealing with, right? So it's like, I used to stare at them lights so long that it began to bother my eyes.
Okay.
Coming into the sun, you know what I'm saying? So, right, so that's an effect that it had on me. There's brothers I know that have been in the box for 15 plus years. A single man cell for over 15 years. And then they want to push them back to society. We do work in Rikers right now. We go in right now, and I was one of those who helped advocate. I'm part of the Close Rikers campaign. I believe that they're using that to create all these gang sweeps, right? Mm-hmm. To build on gentrification, right? Or to be able to say, if we sweep all these families out, put them in prison, now we could take this land that's probably from them, right? And develop. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're taking kids who may have been providing for their families away from their families. Now that family has nobody to provide, right? These are the things that are effect of incarceration, right? So you got the young boys who are in there, and there is no rehabilitation on Rikers, right? Segregation and constant oppression, right? So you got to put them in an environment that's going to help their mindset. That's not working in there. I'm in there. I was in there as an individual who was doing time. Now I'm there as a provider, helping these young boys, and I'm building with them. So I see the lack thereof in every individual, right? Everybody don't have the same problem, and they're not addressing them. They just put them in those areas and let them fight their cases, and not giving them the proper law library or training or all the necessary things for them to educate themselves and come back to society ready to live like someone who is productive.
Do you find that since you change your lifestyle, that more people test your patience now? Do you see the smile on his face?
Oh my God.
Take your time. Take your time.
Oh man, that was interesting. Oh, my patience is tested every single day, right? But it took time for me to be able to understand the mindset and how people are, right? I learned to deal with people differently, and we always say, did they put their hands on you? Right. We always say that, but how often do we really stand with that, right?
Right.
Did they do something to you, right? So with all reality, I don't give a fuck what you got to say, right? My square is here, don't violate it. You can talk all that you want to talk. I know that at the point that you transgress, when I respond, I'm going to respond aggressively.
Right.
And
So wait.
No. You know when I think of that, and I say this to my friends sometimes every day. It's hard not to kill niggas. It's like a full-time job not to kill niggas. Everybody, every day. I mean, if you take the subway, like I take the subway every day, it's hard. It's hard. I actually pushed this lady the other day.
Wow.
I'm not proud to say it, but I did.
Are you in the
Bitch,
gang?
let me get off the train. Yes. Yes, I am.
Are you the
great
gang?
questions.
Yes, I am.
Because there's
We say what they can't, gang.
There's this new gang initiation of pushing people in the train
Yes.
station. I hope you know that.
I am
All
down
right,
with
you're
it.
affiliated now.
I am.
No,
Don't incriminate yourself.
That's not factual. That's not factual. That's just what they do, though. That's what they do.
Yo,
They'll make that into a gang initiation. I'm telling you.
So check it out. Do you have like a some people, okay, they count backwards, from 10 or whatever. Do you have like a method you use to calm yourself down when someone is testing your patience?
Yes. As somebody is talking to me, I'm thinking about the next 5 minutes ahead of what they're saying.
Right.
I'm thinking about where this is going before
Right. Right.
Okay, this is not going in the direction that is going in for them. So what I'm going to do is give them the opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and move away from the situation, right? Yeah. But this is how you have to realize that most of the time people are going to show you by their dialogue, their energy and where they're going with it, right? And if you're really paying attention to how they talking, you're going to have that ability to understand, right, I know where this is going. I need to really be in control of this conversation. You know what I mean? But the constant challenges, man, I tell you, patience is tested every single day.
I think that's all the time. Like, like I watched the recent episode of First 48, right? The guy on First 48.
You still watch that?
Yes.
No,
yes,
I
do.
can't watch that no
I
more.
can't watch it.
The most recent episode, the dude killed his boss. He beat the shit out of him. Like he beat fire out of him. Knocked teeth out of his mouth and all that, right? Yeah. And then he killed him, right? He shot him like 10, 12 times, right? Yeah. All on camera. When they asked him, they brought him in, they asked him why he do it. He was like, yo.
He was showing off.
He was showing off too much for me. Like I reached my point. You know what I'm saying? So the constant battle is, I think, in every day, like even myself, when I'm at work, when I'm at home, when I'm in recreation, the constant battle is not reaching that point, not crossing that line.
But sometimes
bring yourself back.
But it's different. Like say in his case, you're the work you put on the street and inside is well documented. Right. So now some people know that you're in the public eye and you're not gonna do that. So some people that wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even normally talk to you like that. It's just like for some of us guys, not all of us. Like say you're trying to be faithful, and that's when every chick want to talk to you.
Right.
It's
you know
not just guys, it's girls too.
Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep it. I keep it tall though, man. I keep it tall. It's a reality of life, right? And at the reality of life, I'd rather be judged.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? That's just it. But I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That's just always my motto. But I always carry myself in the manner to give somebody that opportunity, right? And it's about an understanding. We could shift our community. We understand how not to give somebody the opportunity, right? But at the end of the day, as I made that transition, it's a constant transition, right? It's like an addiction, a mindset, right? So you have to be on top of that, right? But as I work to try to help my community, everybody in my community ain't changed.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying to say this.
Okay.
It's a lot of dudes that love me. You understand what I'm saying? So
I know where you're going.
You know what I mean? Chill. Right?
Right.
Message received.
Yeah, the message received.
Yeah, right there, right on the side. That's actually my young son. That's my son right there.
Oh,
What's up,
Well, I had a question. I had a question about your sons. I mean, about your kids. So I'm gonna let PS get in. And then
No, I just want to ask when you, because I know you talk to youth a lot.
Right.
So when you're talking to youth, and being that now you got the mindset, you know about the prison industrial complex, and being a consumer, and you know your role in it. When you talk to young people, are they receptive to it, or are they surprised by it? Do they know? Like, I'm curious to know, like, their mindset.
Yo, man, listen, I got my rap sheet, right? I carry it into Rikers, and I be putting it in front of them. They be like, "Oh shit, what the fuck? Oh, you was great, yeah." You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, it's not. I'm not here to brag. I tell you, I'm not here to brag, like, because a lot of people, especially in hip hop, right? They get out there, and Mike Song said it, right? He said it on his flex freestyle. Yeah. He said they rapping about my life, right? Mm-hmm. They glamorizing some shit that I've been trying to get away from. I ain't had the opportunity to get away from, so I had to create an opportunity to get away from it, right? So that's the mindset that I'm speaking of. When I go in there and I tell them I have a reputation of being violent, being through this. Now I'm here this way, right? You ain't got this yet, right? You don't have this. You don't have to have this, right? Let me show you how not to have this. Don't go off with let me experience it myself. Now, if you don't let me experience it myself, individual, go ahead, bro, I'm out of here. I ain't got time to waste with somebody who think they got all the answers at home. You got it? All right, do what you do. Guess what? Jail ain't going nowhere. It's still gonna be there. We could minimize the numbers of us going, but that's just still gonna be there, right? We can minimize the mindset of us dying, but somebody gonna still sell the drugs, this to that, scamming. So whatever you gonna do, you gonna keep going there. All right, go ahead, do you.
This is true. I know that you were wrongly charged for something, and then, you know, by the grace of God, that they were found out that you were not the person that committed this murder or whatever. So, do you speak to your children about talking to the police and, you know, like things that cops do to get, you know, people in situations that they don't belong in?
Okay, so first I'd like to say, apparently people on this show likes to do homework around here.
Yeah. We can
homework around here. Oh my gosh.
We ain't the average.
Wow, yes, I can see that because I don't never speak on even going through that experience, right? You know, as much as I go out and talk, when I talk to youth, when I do this, do that, events, I never really speak about that experience. That's a whole, that was my life. You know, you know, when you fighting a murder case, you know, I tell them that. There's something there now. I tell them I was here fighting one. So there's a chance that, you know, you don't give up till you got that time. Right? But how do you deal with that? Because there's some days you want to go home and you know you're not. There's some days you're like, yo, I'm fighting life. Right? So that's something that I bring back to them. Right? I get them to understand that. I didn't give up during that time. I was getting people telling me from the town, yo, I heard you had 15. I'm still on Rikers fighting. Right? I was, you know, so all these experiences I try to bring to the table, but when it comes to certain things, I don't really build in with until it makes sense to that person that I'm talking to, right? So I wouldn't go speak to a crowd, yo, I've been locked up for this and that. Now, when I'm building as a whole, I tell them what we do, and then when I get the individual, what's necessary to help that person that I'm talking to? How could we get through to that individual right there where we understand his need?
Gotcha.
Well, I got a question. It's actually for yourself and the whole room. The room can take this one too. This is saying like, yo, I wouldn't wish death or prison on no one. How hard is that when, you know, your sibling or a loved one is a victim of that? You know, like, does those same codes still like, damn, I don't wish prison on nobody, but this guy or this person killed a loved one of mine.
I mean, I can't speak I speak for a gangster, right? And you know, when I say that, people don't understand. Oh wow, Keith, who put that? I just caught the background, right?
Shout to Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx. So, I mean, it's different for me because I don't get no justice out of that, right? My mother and them get justice out of that. I don't get no justice out of that. You know, I get justice out of seeing him face to face. You know, somebody that hurt my family. That's the justice that we know, right? And I had to do everything not to seek that type of justice. Right. So you know, like I said, it's different how people cope and how people deal. For me, you know, my brother's gone, so I can't ever feel the same again. You know what I mean?
I've been to jail before.
Oh, she's the most gangster on the set. I think she's tough, man.
I don't wish jello on anybody.
The instrumental Jake's put on was actually for Cinemax.
No, I went to jail for like 2 days, but it doesn't. But I would never wish that on anybody. Like my stepfather was locked up. He had life. He had 25 to life or whatever. He was actually released like 4 years ago. He did 26 years, and it's traumatizing. People don't understand. Like not only is the person there traumatized, but kids, wives, families, everybody is traumatized. Like you go there to visit this person, then you, as a kid, you're like, why you can't leave? Like why you have to stay here? Right. And taking that trip, writing those letters, getting those calls, and for years, to do that. I really wouldn't wish that on. I mean, I can't say anybody rapists. You need to go. Yeah. You need to go.
I'm about to say
I'm not going to say murderers. I'm going to say rapists.
But I've never understood. I never understood that comment though. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't wish jail on my worst enemy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hear people say all the time.
So what are you wishing on your worst enemy?
Right.
If you're not wishing jail on, what are you wishing on the death?
Right.
Right. So you know what I'm saying? I never understood that. So
some jail sentence is worse than death. Is worse than death.
Say that again.
Some jail sentences are worse than death.
Based off of what though? What makes a jail sentence worse than death?
Well, first of all, death is immediate, right? And I have a lot of friends who've been incarcerated for different reasons, and they tell me the reason, the worst time to be in jail is like for a rapist, like she said.
Okay.
When rapists are in jail, they have the worst time ever. They deserve to be in jail. Other than that, I can't speak on it.
All right, but some that's not everybody. Somebody might have been a shooter and accidentally killed somebody's child.
They don't deserve to be in jail forever.
But they're gonna be in jail. Some of them gonna be all right. It's a fact, right? Some people that phase into the black, right? Some families don't have the resources and the homies up top to keep the pressure on you every jail you go to make sure your bid is rough.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Some people don't have that strength and that voice. You understand what I'm saying? So that's different. Some people gonna go behind that wall and it's gonna be hard on them because they killed the wrong brother, right? But some people gonna go up north and they gonna be all right because nobody even know what's happening. They just know he caught a body here up north and he the homie, the kid, this, to that, and he just doing his bid. So you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right? It might have been a young boy that had nothing going for himself. Now he got a hot, 3 meals in the bed and everything, and so you gotta really look at it.
Yeah.
Some people just the example.
Yeah, I heard. Listen, I didn't know. I heard firsthand that when guys go to jail or whatever, they actually press them for their papers. Like, I need to see your paperwork.
That's only federal.
It feds, yeah. Well, feds. I was like, for real? I was like, yeah. Like, you got to bring them your paperwork. They need to see it. I was like,
Cinemax, you never seems to amaze me. I don't know what the hell you've been through.
she got a whole nother life.
We're gonna stop moving our show to Saturdays so she go to church on Sundays or something.
I go to church. I praise with the Lord every day. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus.
You knew what I knew?
I know some real killers who praise the Lord of Jesus every day. But
the crazy shit was I was like 10 or 11, and my cousin, my mother's cousin, my second cousin, whatever, wild dude, wild. Nigga call home, collect. Mama said he called, just take the call. Called, my mother wasn't there. So he was like, yo, tell Carol, my mother, tell your mother, call my wife, this fucking CO's just kicking my ass up here, they got me. And I'm like, I didn't know jail was like, to me, I'm thinking jail, all I knew jail at that age was Rikers. I didn't know nothing when I was 10, 11, I didn't know nothing about up north. I'm like, damn, they fucking Calvin up? Like, that's what in my mind, I'm like, because if they fucking Calvin up, they fucking anybody up. Like, I'm being honest. Like, son, this straight killer. And I'm like, people talk about jail and that's my thing with me because I went to school upstate, so I got to see jail from a different aspect with how white communities, they survive off jail. That's their living.
Livelihood, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So people worried about jail. Yo, the police is beating niggas on the regular. And it's not just the documentaries we see. Right now, as we speak, somebody getting their ass beat in jail.
Yeah. It's a fact.
Right, and I think that to me is where us as a community need to be. I personally don't know why everybody ain't upset about it.
I don't think that's.
They upset about the white chick getting killed by the cop.
They upset about that shit for real.
I wasn't.
Cats resigning, losing their jobs over that.
I'm going to support his cause.
But I got to piggyback on. Yeah, but
nobody want to say nothing.
But I got to piggyback on what Trife said. It's like, yo, his brother lost his life. He has an organization. Mm-hmm. We need to be up in arms about, yo, let's support this. Like, not just when a gay person, like, for real, like, we got to start supporting our stuff.
No question.
When shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's police.
I have a question for the panel, though. Like, let me ask y'all, since we're a music-based show also, how much does music, does hip-hop play a part in that? Should we have a balance between the trap music, between the bullshit that we hear and between like the self-destruction type albums that we records that we don't have.
I'm
no
gonna let
more.
your answer. I just want to say real quick to that. I have no problems with somebody speaking their reality, no matter if you know what I'm saying. Some dudes is front or whatever. This is my problem. You don't tell a true story.
Tell the consequences of your reality.
Exactly. I know, son. I'm born and raised in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I know the stories that's out here. Like what you're saying, everybody ain't rich. Everybody ain't got it. Niggas is hurting. Niggas is like tell those stories. And because the dudes I know, like people, like I got a lot of friends who just coming home from jail, did 18 years. Niggas ain't trying to go back to jail.
Shout out to my son for telling those stories.
Yeah, shout out to my son. Yeah,
wait,
we need more of that.
Sorry, I mean, so all these motherfuckers was out here hashtagging rest in peace, being arrested, but nobody, they wasn't sending no money.
Oh, son, that shit, yo, come on, you serious?
Oh man,
yo, bro,
the hashtags is on fire.
I had to pull back from a lot of dudes, bro, and yo, man, I ain't, man, if I really, I'm about to be working on this book, man. I just, cause but yo, these niggas is crazy. Man. Pardon me, they brazy for days, bro.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it don't make no sense. You know, people do it just for the hashtag, just to be, and it's not just my brothers. Just, that's what people do, man. You know, they want to be part of what's happening, but not doing nothing to really be part of it, right? And I seen that, all the love, but homie, when I did my gala, my gala was lit. You can pull it up. Source came out, right? The individual I thought that was pulling up, everybody had excuses, hitting me with texts with excuses, right? And they gonna see here when they know I'm responding to them.
Right.
I don't even respond. I'm not going. When I respond, I tell you straight up, I ain't feeling that. Get out of here, right? Like I'm not a sugarcoater, right?
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, I'm the type of individual you say, all right, that's all I need to know, right? You're not obligated to anything. I don't hold no obligations to nobody for anything. I'm gonna do what I do. Right, and get to what I gotta get to, right, and continue to honor my brother the way I feel is necessary, right. So those who pulled up was able to pull up, seeing the honor of what we talk about, how we represent somebody who the media represented as nothing but a gangbanger. You understand my point? So right. I don't really hold nobody, to nothing, bro. I just keep pushing what I gotta push, man.
With the recent indictment in your brother's case, how's mom do? Does she feel a little, okay, this is not full closure, but
justified.
Thanks, Spyro. Appreciate it.
I don't know. I haven't spoke to her since then.
Okay.
I didn't go, so she's upset at me.
Come on, man. Mom, you got to come on, man. You can't be out. Wow.
So he was arraigned. Dude was arraigned.
Yeah.
Dude was arraigned. So she hit me, said, yo, he's being arraigned. I ain't pull up. You know what I mean? So.
Any particular reason why? I mean, if you don't want to say it's all good.
I ain't. That's shit different to me. Be shit,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. To see somebody like that, I get it.
You know what I mean? I'm not used to sitting in court for a dude. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That did something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, all right, you did something to my brother.
As I get older, I weigh that shit all the time. And I try not to think about thoughts like that, but I weigh if something happened to my family member, justice system versus my justice system.
Right.
And I think about that shit all the time. If somebody got locked up for something that they did to one of my family members, I don't know if that would bring any type of closure to me.
And this is what I say, not so much closure, but sometimes you got to take your emotions out. Maybe Mom Dukes just needed that.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So I go back to.
I'm seeing Mom right now.
I go back. I understand. I understand, and I understand her position. But what I'm saying is, I go back to when situation first happened, right? Mm-hmm. When Av got locked up. Mm-hmm. We went to. My mother wanted to go to court. I went with her, right? So the next time when he went to court, they arraigned him on a gun charge, right? Mm-hmm. So the next time she was like, "Yo, he's going back to court." And I was like, "Man, there's no sense to go to court." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because he's being charged with a gun that has nothing to do with the death of your son."
Murder, right? Yeah.
Right? And I don't want this perception from media or anybody else to believe that you're there wanting to see him fried. You see my point? So she understood that and didn't go, right? And then she just hit me with the, "Yo, son, he's being arraigned." And I didn't have a conversation with her prior to that.
Gotcha.
So my point is, I do understand that, right? And if that's what she needs for me to be there to support her, then I have to prepare myself for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just, that was sudden. I don't have no conversations with her or anybody about any investigations so I don't know the extent of it. That was one of the things that I've been dealing with since it happened. I ain't going to DI. I don't want to talk about none of that, right? Don't tell me what they telling y'all. I know what I need to know, and you know what I'm saying. So you understand my point. So now when they whatever they doing behind the scenes, anything I'm understanding is me having knowledge of the system and expecting how the knowing how the feds move and the state move. That's my knowledge from being through the system long enough, right? I ain't an attorney, but I could damn near be one,
right?
So I look at all those as I put into perspective and say, all right, Mom, I'm gonna see how I can prepare myself to be there to support you so that you can have the full knowledge to be comfortable when you're in that court system, right? And that's just where I'm gonna have to take it.
That's fair enough. So when you when this footage came out, and I understand it was like, we won't mention anybody's name, but some people were running or some people were lying saying they wasn't there. Did you have a conversation with these people?
Of course I did.
Did they own up? Did what they say match up what was in the video?
No comment.
Gotcha.
My question is now during this time, like when you see a lot of people doing different interviews with different people, and knowing your brother is gone, and a lot of people, the person who's accused of it, a lot of people shouting them out. I mean, I know the answer. How does that make you feel? Like people who you even fucked with, like far as did interviews in the same show, everything, but now it's like
what you talking about?
I'm just saying, like when you say
you just do people I mess with in interviews.
No, I'm saying like you went do interviews here, and you see people go do interviews over here, or whatever, and everybody's like, "Yo, hope my man holding his head." Do you feel like that's their man, or you feel away?
Yeah, I just did an interview with somebody last week.
Oh. 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Somebody who's in that loop, that situation.
Yeah, so I'm asking, do you feel like
I still pulled up. I do my homework too.
No doubt. So if somebody's cool with somebody, you know what I'm saying, you don't hold that against them, or you just like, or you just business, or how do you know what I'm saying? Because like personally, I mean, I know how you feel as a man, as a brother. Like I don't even want to be around somebody. Like this is just not even on that level. My brother broke up with his wife. I don't want to be around their family.
What?
I don't fuck with y'all no more. I'm just keeping it 100.
What if they got kids?
I don't fuck with y'all. No, not his kids. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you got to choose a side. And to me in hip hop, a lot in this community of ours, motherfuckers don't want. You can pee on kids. Niggas don't want to say you wrong. I'm just keeping it. Yo,
wow,
man, I'm just keeping it 100.
That's real. You supposed to have those ready. He said you could pee on kids.
I mean, you just say what it is.
It's been a rough week.
Yes.
But it's like
they've been burning.
Yeah, he said you can pee on kids, and if you got a IG following, they gonna act like you okay. You did something right.
Right. Like I'm just saying, like we gotta. How do you feel? Just being in all this. It's like it's Hollywood to me. It's like hip hop Hollywood.
Hey yo, let me. So she brought up a situation earlier, right? When I was locked up and fighting the murder case. And I was counted out, and I seen a lot of people dip. You know what I mean? Homies, everybody counted me out. So you can imagine when you fighting that, how people just disappear. That was different training for me then. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I see myself as a different individual when I'm dealing with them, right? And there's individuals that's in that know they doing that, right? And they can't face me as a man. They'll try to come as a group in a way to try to, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not alone in this world. You understand what I'm saying? But my point is, I have my conversation, but I necessarily have my conversation because I didn't come up one day and say, hey, yo, I'm an OG, right? I've been through I'm battle scarred, war tested, been through the system, streets. So, I ain't never fall to my stride, right? So I deal with how I move. And you already know, if you know me, somebody tell you how I move, they know how I move, right? Mm-hmm. So individuals that may be just being introduced with me through the work I'm doing or any interview I've done, don't know me like dudes that know me in the streets, right? So when they have a conversation behind the scenes, like, yo, Trife, yeah. Like, for real, like, he really, you know what I mean? So it's a different understanding. So stay over there with that. You know what I'm saying? And if time allows me to have a conversation with you, then we'll have the conversation that we have, however that conversation is supposed to be and supposed to go. That's the way it's gonna go. That's how I deal, right?
Got you.
There that go.
It is.
Yo, you got any up and coming events coming up that we can help be a part of or whatever we gotta
definitely.
do?
Yeah. I mean, we got to just check out our website. Follow me on Instagram, Trife _Gangsta. Follow my website, www.gangstamakin.com. That's GangstaMakin. And really, man, like I said, as we build, I pulled up because you we've been building. And if I say I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna pull up wherever I need to pull up at.
I was nervous. Like I kept hearing Chanel like, yo, he coming through, right?
Yeah,
She's like, yeah, he good.
Right,
Nah,
because at the end of the day, it's still a different energy that needs to be put out to our communities, right? And even I did 2 interviews that wasn't something that I do then, you know what I mean? So, if I already started doing it, I might as well give those who got the right voice and platform that conversation as well. That's how I look at it. But for me, I'm still really not really about all the way about us uplifting our community and changing the mindsets, right? It don't mean that you got to be a sucker to be in the front lines and everybody's afraid to say, yo, we dying too much, right? How could we change our young people? That's my focus, right? All the shoot 'em up, kill 'em, bang bang shit.
Yeah.
Everybody doing that shit corny.
Yeah.
A little bozo nigga can pull the trigger and take a life. It's happening all day, every day. Go look in the system, right? These accident murders are all the time, right? So there's no glamour in that. The only glamour in that is for the system. So we want to change the mindsets of our community. When people saying it's not possible, now if it wasn't possible, then I'd have killed a couple people a while ago. You know what I'm saying? So we got to take people like myself that's showing that it is possible, that if you know how to deal with the situations accordingly, we could change the narrative of how quick somebody's pulling the trigger in our community. That's my focus, right? I'm not trying to stop drugs in this community.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to listen. Whatever you scamming, that's what you choose to do. You want to be a fraud, then go do that. You understand what I'm saying? But my point is, death, lives, the effect that it has, the trauma it has on our community, the trauma it has on our kids or on our mothers. That's the focus. All these so-called cliques, crews, and affiliations that come to our community that say we about uplifting the community, got to get back to that. You understand what I'm saying?
No question.
From Crips, folks, Kings, Bloods, all these things were supposed to be about protecting our community.
Yeah.
We need that back to the forefront. That's my focus.
Absolutely. So real quick before we go off air, we brought up my son a couple of times. He got in a social media battle because he called some rappers out there a bozo or bozo, and we brought up that word bozo because some cats out there act like bozos.
Right.
We say what they can't. My question on that? Does that really? Because I see it myself. What's your thoughts on the impact of these bozos on society?
Oh my God. So first of all, people don't really understand the bozo, right? Because you got a lot of clowns, right?
Right.
You even got homie was a clown too. So let's not mix up. You got some homies that's clowns. It's real shit. But bozo is just a special type of clown, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like like this clown might be funny, but bozo ain't nothing funny about none of the shit that you doing, right? That shit is hurting everything around us, and that bozo mindset is just that you'll put everybody's life at stake. You cause the money to crumble. Everything around you is just nasty because you're a bozo, right? And if you don't understand the mindset of a bozo, that having that type of energy around you is always going to fall to the stride of your movement, right? So we gotta look at that. And when somebody's putting themselves in a way of acting in a way that says this is nasty to what we doing, we gotta identify that and get those type of people out of our energies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Agreed.
Well, see, we started positive, we ended positive.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we had some gangster shit somewhere in that middle. You know, Sis and I want to thank you for coming out again, man.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
Shout out
Yeah,
Albany
appreciate
Ave.
Definitely.
We ain't really going around the corner too much.
Oh, had a point.
What?
So I used to coach a team. I had a point guard. I know he rolled with you. Go fronts his mouth.
Sledge.
As my point guard on my
Sledgy
team. I said I'm showing my age.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go pull up on him now. GK land. That's what they do
my
right now.
man.
Yeah.
Right from here. But man, just as I leave, man, people always misinterpret things. I am who I am. We are who we are, and it's about being who you are. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing for nobody. Right. I'm gonna be a strong individual for my community. Right. When I talk about gangsta ain't about hurting and killing. It's about a way of life, protecting our family and uplifting our kids and take care of our families and respecting our women. Right. And we have to understand it's a mindset. It's an addiction that's in our community. It's fast money, cars, jewelry, all that tells us we want to live like this, and this is what our kids are seeing. So if we're going to have that embedded in our community, we got to redirect them and show them that they got to take this to community for themselves.
Straight up.
Because them people looking to take everything from us.
Straight up.
Right.
I mean, we got to end it on that note, man.
Yes,
That's it.
that's it.
Can't follow that up.
Peace.
See y'all.
All right, yo.
next week.
Say what they can.
Say what they can, y'all.